On a hot, humid summer morning, we find ourselves once again at Campbell Hall on the former Erie Graham Line. Before 8 a.m., the Middletown and New Jersey Railroad crews are already hard at work, sorting the freight cars that will be delivered throughout the day. Shoving, switching, and sorting. It's a normal part of the morning routine here on the M&J. Power is much of the same today. The NJT GP40PH-2 and the vast fleet of GP38-2s, 2175 in corporate paint. While the 4213 on Train 56 traces its heritage back to Conrail, 4106 proudly wears a heritage sticker honoring the Central Railroad of New Jersey. Originally built as a GP40P, it entered service as C&J number 3631 before becoming part of New Jersey Transit's fleet. Now a leaser locomotive for MNJ and sort of a rite of passage to be on the NJT main line as it has the proper cab signals. If you follow the M&J Railroad close enough for a while, you begin to recognize which cars are headed to which customers. IWS waste cars are usually bound for Middletown, while lumber cars are destined for either Middletown or Chester, depending on the rest of the consist. So when we spotted a cut of tank cars sitting on the east leg of the Y in Campbell Hall, we had a pretty good idea that a trip north was imminent. So on this morning, we decided to follow CH2 as it made its way up the Maybrook Industrial, delivering tank cars to Crestwood Terminal in Maybrook, before turning on the Walden Industrial to Hunter Panels in Montgomery. Whenever we come to the village of Maybrook, New York, we can't help but dwell on the history here. Where M&J works lies the historic Maybrook Yard, once one of the busiest freight gateways in the Northeast. Opened by the New Haven Railroad in the early 1900s, the yard became the eastern anchor of the famed Maybrook Line, funneling freight across the Poughkeepsie Bridge and connecting New England with the rest of the nation. Maybrook truly was the gateway to the East. At its peak, thousands of freight cars passed through here every day. But after a devastating fire closed the Poughkeepsie Bridge in 1974, traffic disappeared almost overnight, and Maybrook's importance rapidly declined. Today, while much of the sprawling classification yard is gone and is replaced by a trucking company for the most part, the area does, however, remains a small but active freight hub. The M&J serves Crestwood Terminal, a propane facility that is a very important business and keeps the activity here going with no signs of slowing down. Norfolk Southern interchanges traffic at Campbell Hall to deliver here, and these tracks are still owned by NS, although business was given to the M&J for well over a decade. Just north of Interstate 84 lies an industrial spur that has sat dormant for years. From what we understand, Norfolk Southern may have once served customers along this track, but we've never witnessed the Middletown and New Jersey Railroad, or any train for that matter, use it. If you know the history behind this spur, let us know in the comments. We'd love to learn more about its past. And with the M&J's business continuing to grow, we hope to see this track return to service someday. As CH2 finishes up their hour-long switching at Crestwood, we see the crew pull out with the 5615 now on point. CH2 will leave its cut of empty tank cars on the Maybrook Industrial track before lining the switch for the Walden Industrial. From there, the crew continues north with 5 loaded tank cars destined for Hunter Panels in Montgomery. The line CH2 is traveling on is the former New York Central Wallkill Valley branch, which once stretched north to Kingston, New York. Today, the M and NJ serves a handful of customers as far as Walden, the next town north. Beyond Walden, the rails have long since been removed. The former right-of-way resumes in Wallkill as the scenic Wallkill Valley Rail Trail, following the old railroad through the villages of Gardner and New Paltz, before crossing the Rosendale Trestle, one of the Hudson Valley's most recognizable railroad landmarks, on its way toward Kingston. Hunter Panels receives tank cars loaded with the liquid chemical feedstocks used to manufacture polyisocyanurate insulation, or polyol for short. It is a closed-cell rigid foam plastic, used mostly as high-performance thermal insulation. Once unloaded, the empty tanks are returned to Campbell Hall for interchange with NS for points west. The 4 tank cars from Hunter Panels quickly became a dozen, as CH2 picked up the empties they had left earlier on the Maybrook Industrial. With 12 tank cars now in tow, the crew would return to Campbell Hall, where the cars would be set out for Norfolk Southern train H70. Later that night, H70 would collect the train as part of its nightly interchange with the M and NJ. Thanks for watching another short but sweet chase along the Middletown and New Jersey Railroad. It's always a pleasure to see these classic EMD Jeeps still hard at work on these historic rails. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other features on the MNJ for more action and history from this unique short line. As always, thanks for watching, happy rail fanning, and we'll see you on the next one.